What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the MZ Squared podcast. My name is Martin. Marcela's not here today, but we're just keep going. So today, I'm gonna talk about quitting your job. Yes, quitting your job. Something happened today to me at work where I don't know how I feel about it, and it's just reminded me of all those other times where I quit my job. So just something to tell you guys about me. I don't know if you could call me a hard worker. I don't know, right? I'm not trying to put that out there, but every job I've had, I've always moved up to the next, whatever it may be. Next position, new role. They see something, right? I see what needs to be done. I'm good at it. And so I keep moving up. And my job now, stuff went down where I just don't know. I don't know. It's making me think back of all the times that I quit my job. And so I wanted to share with you guys, because I know a lot of people are still, who are lucky enough to have jobs, but a lot of people are at jobs where they don't like. If you're at a job that you don't like, I want you guys to know that there is greener pastures on the other side. I know they say the grass is not greener on the other side, it's greener where you water it. I get that. But sometimes the situation is bad where you just, for your sanity or whatnot, you want to get out. You need to get out to do something else. But I think there's also a lot of other reasons as to why someone might want to quit their job. It's not necessarily just because I'm so unhappy. I know there's a lot of those out there, but I feel like I've gone through a few of the reasons why someone might quit their job. So I wanted to just kind of help. I wanted to fill you guys in on what I've done in the past and what happened to me. What happened when you quit your job? Did you have something lined up? Right? We'll see. So my first job, so one thing you'll know about me, my first job is when I was when I was 18. I turned 18 the day I graduated high school. My dad woke me up the next day and he had an envelope and he drops it on the bed. And I was like, what's that? Well, in Spanish, like, ¿qué es eso? Es el bill. It's the bill, the phone bill, the cell phone bill at the time. He's like, well, your school's out, you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? So that same day, I got online. Internet was still, it was accessible more, or not as much as it is right now, but the internet was there. I went online and I applied at a bunch of jobs. I ended up applying at Sears Roebuck. For those of you that remember or are old enough to remember Sears, Sears was a big store in its day. Obviously, companies like Amazon have taken it out, but it's honestly Sears' own fault. But anyways, we're not here to talk about why Sears is out of business. But Sears was my first job at 18, right out of high school, and I got the job. I was getting paid $8.40 an hour. I know, and at that time, the minimum wage was like $6.50. So getting a job at $8.40 was like, whoa. I worked in at Land's End department at Sears, and I was a cashier there. So whatever. Fast forward a year, I worked there for 12 months. Fast forward a year, I got my first raise. I was like, what? I never had a raise before. First job, right? And I get the raise, and I look at it, 11 cents. When I saw that my raise was 11 cents, now I was getting paid $8.40, right? I don't know much. I first job, so I can't really complain. I get that. But internally for me, I was like, nah, this is not, because I know how that year went. And I'm like, man, 11 cents for all of that? Nah, I'm over it. Because I had known other ladies that worked in the women's department and all that stuff where they've been there for years. And I was like, nope. That is not going to be me. So that brings me to reason number one where you're just like, you know what? This is just completely wrong for you. You don't know really what you're looking for. It was my first starting job, so you can't complain. But so the way I left, when I quit, I already had something lined up. That I would say the best way for you to quit your job is to have something lined up, or the most secure way, not necessarily the best way. The most secure way is to have the next one ready. You don't quit your current job until you have the next one ready. And I did have the next one ready. The next one for me was Think Together. Think Together was a or is. It's not really around much, but it's an after-school program for kids. I was in college at the time, and I needed a part-time job. Still wanted to get paid more than what I was getting paid. So at that job, Think Together was barely coming into the school district for Santa Ana, which is where I'm at. And they were hiring on the people's original. All in all, they were in the middle of a transition period, and there was two positions. There's one if you worked there prior, and there's one where if you worked, if you're a brand new worker. So if you had worked there prior with the school district, you got paid a higher rate. So I had originally applied with my friend who did work at the school district, but I just never actually started. My application was in, I actually got, the ball was rolling, but because they were gonna be taken over, nothing happened. So when I went and I told them, well, they're like, did you apply before? Or and I was like, well, yeah, I applied. And it was like, oh, okay, go to this line. And I found out that was the line where you got paid $15 an hour, while the other guys were getting paid $11. So come up, right? Yeah, woo. It was part-time though. It was after school, 4 hours a day, 2 to 6 p.m. But all in all, I quit there as well. I worked there. So Sears, I worked for a year. I Think Together, I worked there for 3 years. 3 years because it worked with my school schedule. Now, when I quit Think Together, I quit because I needed more money. Ultimately, I needed more money at that time. School ended. And I needed a full-time job to be able to support myself because I had just moved out of my parents' house. So I needed a full-time job. Enter Wells Fargo. Now, mind you, this is Wells Fargo pre all that stuff that happened with them, you know, so I'm kind of scratching because I don't know. But so yes, so Wells Fargo, I worked there for 3 years, going on 4 years. And in Wells Fargo, I also I was in training to be the assistant manager. I had done all the classes, whatnot, but I just, again, so at Wells Fargo, the thing that took over was I was unhappy. Think Together was cool, but one of the reason I quit Think Together was more because I needed more money, part-time to full-time. So there's another reason. The first one is just the wrong fit. Second one, you need more money. And sometimes if you need more money, you just got to go find that more money. Now with Wells Fargo, the reason I quit Wells Fargo is, so I actually worked there. That was my longest job. It was 3 years and change, almost like 3.5 years when I decided to quit. And when I quit, my wife, Marcella, was actually 4 or 5 months pregnant with our first kid. So I told her, I was like, this opportunity came up. It was at a job with one of my friends where he said, hey, you want to make a lot of money? $100 a deal. You just close this deal, $100. I didn't really ask much, which I should have at the time. But so he's like, look, I got you an interview. It's on Tuesday. Just show up at 9. You know, we'll go. So I tell work, I don't feel good, you know. So I ended up not going to work, and I went to the interview. I go to the interview, knock it out the park. The guy tells me, "This cool, you got the job." And he's like, "Well," I'm like, "Well, when can I start?" He's like, "Well, I need you to start on Monday, like right away. Essentially, the job's now. Like, I need you to start Monday." And I was like, well, I usually it's customary you give the 2-week notice. I don't want to leave on bad terms. Sears was Wells Fargo was my first full-time job. I didn't want to leave them hanging. But the reason I decided to leave Wells Fargo was for 2 things. It was, one is I hated life. I hated it. The sales goals, the sales pressure, the unethical, the minute, you know what, I don't even want to get into this, is not a Wells Fargo rant video, but just know that everything that you hear is true. It's probably, I don't know, actually, I don't want to, that's it. So I left Wells Fargo, and after like 3.5 years, and I went to my other job. My other job was, I went to what's called a student loan forgiveness place. And yes, I know, I talked about it in the last video. I feel it, I feel the judgment. But look, I didn't know what I was getting into. I actually quit after 8 months. So all my jobs, I've had them for years. I'm one of those lifer types of guys where I'll be there for a long time if the job is good. But in this specific case, it was not good. So within 8 years, within 8 months, I was out of that place. Now, the crazy thing about quitting that job, this is the one where I wasn't happy. I actually didn't have anything lined up. I just knew that what I was doing there wasn't good. So I just need to get out. I need to get out. I did have some money saved up in my 401k. I know, not the great decision, but I was like, I will be all right. So I quit without having anything lined up. I actually get the job the very next day of my current job where I'm at now. Now, my current job is actually good. I like the job. I like what I do. It taught me a lot of the stuff that I've known now. I've been a manager there. I've been a director. I've been an employee. So I know a lot about business. I've learned more about business. And now with what happened, it's putting me back to where I think I might quit again. Not quit because it's to where I need to do this for me. I need to do this for me to feel like I gotta do this for me. Like, this is one of those things where a lot of people talk about the wanting to be self-sufficient, self-motivated. Like, it's all about, like, you can do it, go-getter, self-starter. But right now, I'm not. I like to say I am, but I'm not. And that's because I'm still relying on that paycheck. And in all honesty, from what happened, I don't want that. I don't want to let them do that again. You hear the saying, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Well, right now it's shame on me. So whatever, I'm not trying to get into it, but I wanted you guys to know that when I quit my jobs, something has always landed better at my feet. And it's, I don't know if it's luck. I wouldn't say it's luck. Honestly, I read a book, Money Master Game, Tony Robbins, and I think it's grace. I told you, in the previous video, I'm a firm believer that things don't happen, things don't happen to you. Don't think things happen to you. Things happen for you, right? So I believe that this is what I'm supposed to do. And because I believe it, I want to do it. But I'm scared because I got a family, right? I got a family now. We got obligations, but something that needs to be done. Oh, getting all emotional over here because this is how much I believe in this. But I'm scared, right? Isn't it scary? It's such a scary, but I think about it and it feels so good, like liberating to where I'm free. I won't get into it. This is not that video, but this video was to tell you that you can quit. You can do what you want. I've done it. And I'm again at another impasse. This one hurts a little more because it was a little, caught me off guard, but that's my fault. It's my fault because I shouldn't put myself in a position where this allowed to happen. But it's all good because, again, this is something that is happening for me. This is happening for me, not to me. All right? So with that, I'm going to end it there. If you're not happy, quit your job. Take that leap of faith. Obviously, depending on where you're at, right? Like right now, if I have a plan. If I did quit my job right now, I have a plan. I've already kind of talked to Marcella. We haven't really finalized anything, but I have a plan, all right? And if that doesn't work out, then I'm gonna figure out another way. And then, but it's okay. But I think I've kind of made up my mind. I know what I'm gonna do. It's either already time or it's not time yet. Either way, every time it's happened, something better has come along. And I want you guys to know that you don't have to be stuck where you're at. Something better will come along. If you believe, he won't let you go. Like, he's got you. But I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to get religious, but all right. But anyways, you guys have a great day. I got a lot of stuff to figure out, but we're gonna figure it out. So just keep trying, keep going. If you're not happy, you got one life. You gotta do something with it. Just make moves. And I know I'm not one to talk. I'm not saying go quit your job right now because that guy on the internet said no, none of that. Just, if you're not happy, you deserve to be. With that, I'm out. Let's get some outro music. Oh. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day.